Hello, 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 hello. This is Tiz the Unknown, and I'm here to talk about the last Dallas Cowboys game. Sunday Night Football, Green Bay Packers versus the Dallas Cowboys. Micah Parsons returns back to Dallas in all his glory, going up against Dak Prescott, who, minus the Chicago Bears game, has done really well. And you can't really necessarily blame him for the Chicago Bears game. It was a complete clusterfuck of things to happen. But here we are. Sunday Night Football. Time to change everything, right? Tensions are high. Choices to be proven right for this night. Sunday Night Football. And it starts off pretty slow. Green Bay dominating. Cowboys weren't doing diddly squat. They looked like they were playing scared. And it looked like at first Brian Schottenheimer was calling the game scared. To the point where us Cowboy fans, we were so happy when they blocked the extra point and ran it back for 2 points. It was a little bit pathetic. But come to see the end result, the 2 points mattered. That's why they say every point matters in the NFL. Whether it's a safety, whether it's blocking a kick, a field goal kick, an extra point, taking it back for 2 points, whether it's missing an extra point. And so it picked up from there. The Cowboys took the lead in halftime. And it pretty much went back and forth because both defenses, I was very surprised with the Packers. I know they had some guys that were hurt, some star guys that were hurt on defense, I believe. But I did not believe their defense was Swiss cheese like the Dallas Cowboys defense. I already knew the Dallas Cowboys defense was Swiss cheese. I mean, damn, they were been Swiss cheese for what was it? For the last few games. And then it came down to the fourth quarter, and thought we had it, but again, our defense, Swiss cheese. And for the love of God, they kick a field goal to tie it. And so we go to overtime. And overtime, it's another back and forth. Dak Prescott throws a freaking bomb to Jalen Tolbert that I could not believe he did. And Jalen Tolbert, for a lot of crap that he's been getting, he made a very clutch catch. I tell you this right now. Jalen Tolbert has the ability to not do anything for most of the game. But when it is clutch time, he got them hands. He's got them golden hands. No matter how frustrated we are, but he may disappear for 3 to 3.5 to 3 3/4 of a football game. When it's clutch time, Jalen Tolbert is there. It's the proof is in the pudding. Dak Prescott's about to drive. I felt like at that point we could get a touchdown. We ran it once. We threw it. Wasn't going anywhere. He threw it out. And then Dak Prescott tries to run it in. He couldn't find nobody. And Micah Parsons made a game-saving tackle. Not a sack, by the way. I don't know why. They did it for the storyline, that Dak Prescott said. And the Cowboys get a field goal. And then the Cowboys play a little defense. They get it down to 4th and 6. Here it is. Pivotal moment. And once again, our defense lets us down. And they get the first down. And from that point on, I knew right then and there the game changed. Because I said this to myself while I was watching it. That was our best shot to stop the Packers. Packers went down the field. It was getting really close. And then towards the end of the game, they don't call a timeout. They're trying to catch the Cowboys defense off, have them like chickens with their heads cut off. But at the same time, they're running the risk of not like having enough time themselves that if they didn't get this, that there would be time to kick a field goal. So, anyways, Jordan Love throws it. I'm holding my breath, and then all of a sudden the ball gets knocked down. Left with 1 second. 1 second. That 1 second took forever. Took forever. Stayed right there. I could not believe that shit. Home field advantage. Clock operator. Ain't no one want to see a tie. It's disheartening. I tell you this right now. I know a lot of football players. They'd rather take the tie. They'd rather take the loss than the tie. At least in the heart of the battle, okay? Because I get it. Yeah, tie. I'll explain that in a minute. But come on, bro. For some reason, that clock took forever. It was going quick, like normal. 3, 2, 1. Like, bro. I thought that was such bullshit. Anyways, the Packers kick a field goal because they didn't want to leave Mr. Brandon Aubrey with any time, which I can't necessarily blame him. But honestly, man, I just thought he makes the field goal. It ends as a tie. And I felt like that is so dejecting. That was like absolutely crazy, but at the same time, almost like a waste of 3 hours because that's a tie. A fucking tie. After a game like that went back and forth, it was crazy. Just similar to what happened with the Cowboys and the Giants. And you're telling me it ends in a tie. That is the dumbest shit the NFL has done. They need to get rid of that shit. Ain't no one came to a football game to see everyone end in a fucking tie. That's horrible. It's just as bad as when people watch boxing and it ends in a draw. And no one wants that shit. Tell me, baseball, hell, man, you could be playing baseball, start at 7 o'clock. Hell, be going all the way to 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning until somebody comes up with that game-winning hit. Or that game-winning stop. Hockey, same thing. Hell, man, I watched the Dallas Stars go up against the Buffalo Sabres. It's Stanley Cup. Was a goal, by the way. Went all the way to, 1 o'clock in the morning. Started at 7 o'clock. Until the Stars win and Brett Hull gave him the game-winning goal. Basketball, same thing. Jesus Christ. Because nobody wants to see a damn tie. These guys play their hearts out. You either get a winner or a loser. There should be no such thing as a tie in football. That is absolutely ridiculous. You know why this happened? Because the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills, they played a hell of a game, and it came down to one coin toss. Excuse me. I believe Chiefs got the ball, and they won the game. That was it. Bills, everyone crying, saying, "Oh, the greatest game, one of the greatest games that ever happened between Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen." It ended because Kansas City Chiefs took the ball and went to the end zone, and the Buffalo Bills couldn't come back because it's only cost to one touchdown. Then fucking stop them. God. That was the whole point. I did not understand that. Well, hell, if they didn't want them scoring, then they should have stopped them. It makes no sense to me. And because of that, and all the people fucking complaining about that, that's why we got this dumbass rule. And I say this right now, and I know it would have made a difference because if you kick a field goal, the other team has a chance to respond. That's what it is. But to the point where a touchdown doesn't even win it for you anymore. You have to give the other team a chance. No, you the fuck you don't. The team's defense got to give you a chance. That's the whole point of competitiveness, and you took that shit out. That makes no fucking sense. Give me double overtime. Hell, triple overtime. It leaves a bad taste. Just thinking about a fucking tie in a football game, especially as good as this game was. Jesus Christ, man. It just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Just bleh, bleh. Disgusting. I don't want it. NFL, you need to change that shit. Ain't no one want to see this. Final overtime. Tie. 1-1. What the fuck? Come on. It's so stupid. Good grief. Both quarterbacks playing lights out. Look over here. Look at that. 337, 319. Running backs playing out of their minds. Look at Pickens. Pickens, man. Pickens playing a hell of a game. Over here, win probability. Look at that shit. Look at that shit. How did it end? %52.7%. Would have been a win if we had an extra overtime. Nope. Ain't get that shit. That right there, that should not even fucking count. Like I said, Dak Prescott said they're doing that for the storyline. Absolutely atrocious to have this kind of game. Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, 436, 40. Turnover. Look at that. Good grief. They had to clean that up. Alright. And so we're in third place. Let me move this up a little bit. Right there. NFC East, we're in third place. 1-1 behind Washington and Philadelphia. But we got some games coming up next. I feel like we should and could win. But then again, we got the Jets coming up. We should win that game. But I don't think we will. Why? Because our defense is Swiss cheese. People getting burnt. Trayvon Diggs getting burnt. Now, I'm trying to give Trayvon Diggs, I said this before in an earlier video, I'm trying to give this man grace. Because I know he's coming back from the ACL tear, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to give this man some grace. Deron Bland, he's coming back from a messed up foot. He deserves grace. Yeah, he got beat on the first touchdown, but that's it. Elam, he got cooked. I've been saying this forever. Elam needs to go. Chris Collinsworth over here trying to praise Matt Eberflus's defense. Why? Why? His zone defense is no good. Look, the zone defense predicates on the fact that you need a pass rush to get there. Cowboys ain't got a pass rush. And they ain't got a pass rush. So Matt's defense is already screwed. But hell, even if they did, hell, they had Parsons. I would say Parkins. Parsons. They tried playing zone against the Packers in the divisional game. The ones that broke Jared down so bad in that damn documentary. You heard him when he was talking about that shit. They had Michael Parsons. Michael Parsons running around like a chicken with his head cut off. This defense is trash. Absolute trash. Elam needs to be gone. Okay? I don't know what you need to do. Get Stephen Gilmore. You can get Stephen Gilmore. You need that. But as much as I want to say get a cornerback, you need something else. Now, I heard about rumors, and I'm pretty sure, take this with a very large grain of salt. Max Crosby is reportedly, and this is a big ass rumor. So, like I said, it may not even really be true. But the fact is that the Cowboys couldn't make a blockbuster trade to get Max Crosby. Now, I highly doubt that that's what's going to happen. But the Cowboys need some kind of big time pass rusher, and James Houston, he needs more reps because he seems to be the only guy make him and Jadeveon Clowney actually kind of played out. So I like that. But this defense, man, this defense is going to be the death of Dallas Cowboys. How are you going to have one of the top-rated offense in the NFL? Dak Prescott playing out of his mind, being the top passer in the NFL, and your defense is crap. You're 1-2-1. When you have a quarterback playing lights out the way Dak Prescott is playing, you damn near need to be undefeated, or at least 3-1. Or at least, what is that? 3-1, right? Because we're in week 4. 3-1. But no. 1-2-1. Stupid ass tie. Now, I do realize that the tie is not necessarily a loss, and actually, if someone's 12-5 versus 12-4-1, that still counts as them having equal. It's equal footing, and it comes down to tiebreakers amongst the two teams. But what? Come on, man! It's just an ugly thing to experience. A hard game like that, and it ends in a damn tie. That's just nasty. Hate that shit so much. But I'll tell you this right now. Cowboys needed those backup offensive linemen. So whether you might want to say about the whole Parsons thing, it kind of proved dividends because they really needed that help from their backup O linemen that they probably wouldn't have gotten if they had signed Micah Parsons. Would probably got a lot of these deals done if they had to sign Micah Parsons. And I'm not saying that it proved that Jerry was right, because no, he was not. This game kind of proved it, because you need some kind of pass rush for that zone defense to work. Now, Matthew Bruce is supposed to be his thing, supposed to be a specialty in this shit. It wasn't like Dan Quinn and that bullshit where he's just a man-to-man, and all of a sudden, for whatever fucking reason, decided to go ahead and do zone defense, which I'm pretty sure he meant to sabotage the team, but whatever. You can leave it up to more conspiracy theories or whatnot. But you need a pass rush. And you can tell Jerry keeps on taking shots at Michael Parsons, and even though the damn game's over, leave that shit alone. This just tells me that Jerry Jones is hurt, and he couldn't let go of his ego. So this is where we're at now, Dallas Cowboy fans. Our defense is gone. Trayvon Diggs, he looked just about checked out of this team. Now, he did make a play to keep to make sure that at least force them into a tougher position to keep them from getting to the end zone. So you could say that, but it just, to me, he seems out of it. That's just my viewpoint. I feel like Trayvon misses Micah Parsons, and he probably didn't like the fact that he got some of his money taken away from him. Dak Prescott deserves better, man. He gets a lot of fucking hate, but man, he's putting up these damn numbers. And I'll tell you this right now. Brian Schottenheimer is calling these games very, very well. He got Cavante Turpin involved in this game. Cavante Turpin became got some huge catches in this game. Something that it took Mike McCarthy 3 years to try to figure out what he's going to do with Cavante Turpin. It didn't take Brian Schottenheimer that long to figure it out. Shout out to Shotty. And I will say this one thing. And it had to do with another Dak Prescott deep ball. There was a moment where him and Pickens were hot. And I'm looking. And he's throwing this ball deep. I'm thinking, oh, he's throwing it to Pickens. You just think a deep ball to Pickens. No, he threw it to Tolbert, who had 2 guys on him. But I'm looking over to the other side to the left right there. I'm thinking, hey man, Pickens, he's got one-on-one and he beat his guy. That's the thing you have to look. I get it. And then after that, Tober made a hell of a catch when Dak Prescott threw that ball. But when you're telling me to choose either Pickens or Tolbert, I'm going to go with Pickens. That's your deep threat. Go to Pickens. Please, for the love of God, look for him first before you look to Tolbert. I'm just saying. But anyways, the Cowboys offense playing stellar, and they have to play stellar because this defense plays like crap. And it's the defense that's going to bring this team down. Matt Ellerbruce, I get it. He wants to play it his way. He wants to stick to it his way. But nothing's going to change until he gets a prominent pass rusher. I don't think the Max Crosby thing is actually going to happen. I think it's just a rumor that's got thrown around on X a lot. I highly doubt that because I don't see the Raiders getting rid of him after they just gave him a damn extension. But boy, did they need somebody like Max Crosby. Because this shit ain't working, man. This Cowboys team ain't going to go anywhere. They're going to be at the third. They ain't going to be at the bottom. The bottom belongs to the Giants. And man, I just want to say I'm sorry for what happened with Malik Neighbors, by the way, man. Prayers, speedy recovery. No one wants to see anybody get hurt like that. That sucks. But the New York Giants are bottom dwellers. Let's just leave what it is. They ain't going anywhere. Let's just be for real about that. Cowboys are bad, but they ain't that bad. Let's be for real. Cowboys ain't that bad. They ain't bad like the Giants, but they can be better. The problem with the Cowboys is that they could be the third best team or the second to first best team in the NFC East. That's where it is right now. But like I said, man, it's still early in the season. Things can change, but the thing that's going to change is if Dallas can make that crucial trade to get somebody like a Max Crosby, a prominent pass rusher. They need that. Because that's the only way this Cowboys team is going to actually make some noise this season. Because the offense can do as much as it can, but when you got defenses out there that play better, where every defense out there is better than your defense, that's already been proven. Dallas defense is last in the NFL. Then all it takes for them is to get one stop, force Dallas to get one field goal or two field goals, and the other teams just keep ramping up the touchdowns. You're not going to win any games. So, thing is, Cowboys defense needs to get better. Matt Ellerbruce, he's going to keep plugging away. He's going to keep doing his thing. But like I said, Dallas, if they want to try to do some damage, go out there and somehow make that that blockbuster trade to get someone like Max Crosby. And NFL, no more ties. Y'all after this season, y'all need to figure out a way. Y'all need to have a discussion because this tie shit ain't working. This is disgusting. This should not be happening, especially on a Sunday night football game. This should not be happening. I'm over here showing all kinds of damn scores right now. But this right here should not be happening. NFL do better. Cowboys defense needs to do better. I'm praying they do better, but they probably won't. Cowboys, we got to beat them Jets. That's all I'm going to say. Got to beat them Jets. Let's get ourselves back on track. All right, you guys. Thank you guys for listening to my rant. Let me know in the comment section for any of you Cowboy fans. How do you feel about that game? How do you feel about the tie? I don't like it one fucking bit. And I know Packers fans didn't like it one fucking bit either. But they're lucky. Supposedly, if you mean playoff seeding, well then I guess you could say they're lucky that it was a damn tie because they should be taking that damn clock operator because there's no damn way. That shit should have got down to 0. Alright, I'm done. Alright. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.